Test, test. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our Planning and Works Committee meeting on April 24th, 2024. Just wait for that echo. Okay. All right, the purpose of this meeting is to discuss the agenda items that were deferred from the April 9th, 2024 Planning and Works Committee meeting. I will now call on the committee clerk to conduct the roll call.
Thank you, Chair James. Chair Redmond. Councillor Craig. Councillor Deutschmann. Present. Councillor Erb. Present. Councillor Foxton. Present. Councillor Huinink. Present. Councillor Chair James.
Present.
Councillor Liggett. Councillor McCabe, Councillor Nowak, Councillor Shantz,
Present.
Councillor Verbanovic, Councillor Williams,
Present.
Councillor Wolf,
Present.
and we have regrets from Councillor Harris. Thank you, Chair.
Perfect, and we do have quorum.
Yep.
Okay, I would like to acknowledge that the land in which we gather today is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, and the Chinanton peoples. We acknowledge their enduring presence and of the Indigenous people with whom we share and steward this land with today, their achievements and their contributions to our community. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to the regular agenda. Again, this is continued from April 9th. This is the Grand River Transit MobilityPLUS software update. So I'll call on Doug Spooner, the Acting Commissioner of Transportation Services, to introduce the report.
Thank you, Chair, and through you. So this report responds to the plan and budget discussion from last year, as well as Councillor Huinink's motion from January 16th. Just quickly to remind Council what this one is about. The MobilityPLUS software is an optimization software. It looks at the available vehicles and operators, the required trips, where from, where to, and when, and looks to group like trips. And what we believe right now is that this software could be more effective, effectively upping the use of our existing resources. So this report speaks to both the upgrade of the existing software as well as the development of an RFP for a replacement, new software. It identifies two further things, funding. So we have funding existing in our capital budget under a line of MobilityPLUS technology requirements. So there's $200,000 total, more than enough for this project. And it also identifies a project manager from IT services to be provided either an internal or on a contract with priority to start now. And Council, as you know, we are undertaking the 2025 to 2030 GRT business plan. And actually, MobilityPLUS has its own standalone business plan that will be done early in order to inform the broader. This is the first step on getting us started on improving overall service delivery, again, towards that target that Council has provided of 2.5% undelivered trips. So remembering we were up as high as 5% and 7% last year.
Thank you, Doug. I do have a question from Councillor Huinink. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Commissioner Spooner, for following up these concerns. I think you noted this already in your dialogue there, but I just want to clarify that this is not a new employee, right? This is getting resources from IT that are already available.
Correct, yes. So the ITS department has a number of project managers and they assign, and so this is effectively to put this project at the top of the list for the assignment of a project manager.
Excellent, thank you. This stands to benefit many people in the community.
Perfect, thank you. So there is a motion on the floor. I need a second. Okay, so Councillor Foxton moves it. Councillor Wolf, you second it, and you will be prompted in e-scribe. Okay, that is carried. Thank you, Doug. And right, the next is item 4.2, the update for the proposed transfer of ownership of Oxford Road 5 from the Township of Wilmot to the Region of Waterloo. Again, I'll call on Acting Commissioner Doug Spooner to introduce this report.
Thank you, and through you, Chair. Council, this is an update on the proposed transfer of ownership of Oxford Road 5 from the Township of Wilmot to the Region of Waterloo. This motion builds on Councillor Salonen's, this report builds on Councillor Salonen's motions from the plan and budget cycle and also from January 2024. This motion has also led to the internal review of a 1998 regional road assumption criteria, which is now in consultation with our area municipal partners. That criteria and our current guidance on an upload of this sort suggests that all safety-related improvements are to be completed prior to upload. There is currently no mechanism to facilitate the region contributing to roads that the region does not own. In that, there is a current safety improvement project plan for the next 6 to 7 months focused on Punkadoodle's Corners. So once complete, the region would be in a position to upload. We're waiting on a bit of additional information, plans, surveys, et cetera, just a final due diligence. Think about this as taking your car to the mechanic just before you purchase, and we'll bring a report to council as soon as fall 2024 to recommend the upload. We'll also shortly bring back the aforementioned regional road assumption criteria for review once this consultation is complete, so that the next time we have an opportunity like this, we can move quickly with no ambiguity and working together with our area municipal partners.
Okay, thank you. I have a couple of councillors in the queue. Councillor Foxton.
Actually, I believe you answered it. You're working with Wilmot on the costs and the upgrades. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair Redmond.
Thank you, Chair James. I just really wanted to commend staff for working with Wilmot Township staff in coming forward with a plan on how we do this equitably and smoothly, recognizing that we should take these kinds of requests seriously. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor Shantz.
Thank you, and thank you also for working with Wilmot on this. As I recall, Councillor Salonen talked about quite a time delay in when this first was brought forward. Can you speak to that time delay and what's happened in the interim in terms of the condition of the road?
Yeah, through you, Chair. There's a number of time delays on this one. I believe the first request came through in 2010. So effectively the action since it was re-requested as part of the plan and budget cycle was those two components. So it's to understand the cost and scope of the safety improvement, the annual maintenance cost, which we do understand, and now there's the last piece, which is just to confirm the current condition of the road. And once that's complete, we'll be ready to upload. So the delays have been somewhat procedural, somewhat related to the update of the policy, but confident that we're ready to move now.
Just, excuse me, a follow-up on that. And again, I'm assuming you're working with Wilmot Township, so maybe I'm speaking out of turn here, but in terms of the cost then, and cost sharing and how that will work.
Yeah, so we understand 2 of the 3 critical numbers today. So the safety project that is underway is tri-party funded. It's $1 million project. That is the Punkadoodle Corners safety project. That's the one we do not have the mechanism to contribute to. The actual section of road to be uploaded has an annual maintenance cost of roughly $40,000. So we'll manage that through our annual maintenance budget. And then there's a third number which we don't yet have, which is any improvements needed to the road, safety or otherwise, just to get it up to standard, ready to be uploaded. So that's the missing component. That's that kind of last check that we're doing now.
And Wilmot's on board with sharing those in that way?
We're going to meet on Friday.
Okay, seeing no further questions, this report was for information. Next on the agenda item, you've all received copies of the council tracking list. There's correspondence from Sharon Filsinger. Other business, we have a motion from Councillor Carrie Williams. Do we have a mover for that? Or a seconder? Okay, Councillor Deutsch. Yeah? Yeah, sure, go ahead.
just back to the tracking list for a second. I just wanted to know if we're on track for the community safety zone presentation or report back in June, or what the status of that is.
Hold on a second. Commissioner Spooner, do you want to introduce Matthew?
Yeah, please. Everybody, this is Matthew Davis. I think month 4 is our Director of Transportation Services. So, welcome to council. And Matthew's been doing great work already. And I think you'll find he's going to be a good add to our team. Thank you.
Thank you. So through the chair, we're currently on track to move that this summer. June is seeming like a bit of a difficulty because we're having some issues with the contracting the consultant. So, but we're confident by August we'll be ready.
So what would be a more appropriate timeline for the tracking list then?
It'll be August.
August, okay. So we could have that changed. Thank you.
Okay, we'll make sure that is updated to reflect August for report back. Okay, thank you. Anything else from the tracking list? That's okay. All right, so other business. Councillor Williams has a motion. And we need a seconder, so Councillor Foxton, you will second that. Okay, Carrie, do you want to speak to your motion?
Sure, thank you. So just to kind of recap for some people that weren't here or if they didn't watch, we had some delegations come at the last meeting, and they were mostly just concerned about the safety of such a small space. It's very narrow roads. It's not ideal for anyone. There's been damage to surrounding streets, to infrastructure. Also, the trucks themselves are being damaged, so it's not very good for business for either side. The businesses downtown also see kind of sometimes a drop in, foot traffic if people aren't finding it safe and convenient to be down in the downtown core. The other streets around it are also quite narrow and small. It's a nice, cute, tiny town. And I think the main concern is really just that they want it to be workable and livable for everyone, for the businesses, for the residents, and I think that's pretty much the goal of everyone that's come and spoken to me. So just about the motion a little bit is, my hope is really just that our staff and township staff can work together with the residents to find a solution that works for everybody involved. I know there's more information that's needed, so that's why I put it into 2 sections so that there's kind of an interim measure, and then there's like a more fulsome study that would go on a little bit later so that they can study the roads not just in the downtown, but in the whole surrounding area, because there's also been other issues with trucks on streets that are side roads because they aren't supposed to have heavy loads, but the trucks are still going down there. People have been rerouted. So I think a whole study would be appropriate. So I just wanted to say a thank you to everyone who's been helping me gather all this information. So I've worked with, the residents, the businesses, other council members, staff on both sides. And I think that hopefully that this can be resolved, and I hope everyone can support it. So thank you.
Okay, Councillor Foxton.
Thank you, and through you, Chair. I guess you've seen a lot of the news, press, everything else. It's beyond me why they're not going up to Tressler. It's 300 meters away from Northumberland, and it's built for the trucks. This region spent a lot of money upgrading it, Tressler, to make sure the trucks could travel from north to south easily. And they're not doing it. And I wonder if it's not, some people wonder if they're not aware that some of the trucks coming through see Northumberland and see that as the turn. And so signage saying, Tressler Road, truck road, 300 meters away, maybe that will direct them there. But I want to work with staff, and I want to make sure we can do this right. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Deutschmann.
Thank you, Chair James. I just wondering, is there a timeline for a report back for this?
Oh, I didn't suggest a timeline because we were hoping that we could get the interim measures pushed forward first and then have the more fulsome study come later. I'm not sure what an appropriate timeline would be for that, as long as we could have something that's kind of put in place until then.
So, well, I see the first resolve says to conduct a study, and the second, be it resolved, is to explore interim measures. So, Is it you wanted the second part to happen first and then the first part?
Yeah, that was my intention. I guess I
Okay.
could have switched them around. Sorry.
Sure, okay, that's fine. Sorry, just for clarification, should there be a timeline on a report back on interim measures then?
I would be hoping that it would be as soon as possible. If
Just to guide staff?
but yeah, just for guidance, and then also maybe staff would be able to tell me if, what their timelines look like. There may be other projects. I mean, I would hope that this would be, pushed forward, but I don't know if that's realistic. So let's.
Well, maybe
Doug,
staff
yeah.
can advise.
Yeah, through you, Chair. So the plan was to look at interim measures immediately and then to suggest longer-term improvements through the 2025 capital budget, so as soon as this fall to have a plan.
A look at interim would happen by when then?
Okay. As soon as possible. I
Well,
don't have a-
as soon as possible is,
As
it
we
would be
sit,
nice to have a fixed timeline, like July, August, September,
we could say June. We won't be here in July, so I could bring a report in June.
whatever you feel is doable.
It's fine.
I want to make sure that's realistic for staff to be able to, would that,
Well, if I could bring Matt in again.
yeah, Matthew, if you want to speak to, the realities of being able to do this in, 6 weeks or so.
Through the chair, you'll get to know me. I like to speak through realities. So regarding the interim measures, we do need some level of study to inform those. And so I don't think June is appropriate. We have to get through some of that. So I would put that again the next time after. That would be August.
Okay, so can we say August cycle, that something comes back regarding the study, interim measures for council with this road, okay? Thank you, Matthew. Seeing no further questions, okay, we have a mover and a seconder. We will vote for this. Councillor Craig? You got it? Okay. Okay, that is carried, and we'll get a report back from staff in August, the August cycle. Councillor Shantz, you had additional other business?
Yes, thank you. And just to bring my colleagues that are new to council up to speed, speaking of road downtown truck traffic on roads. 10 years ago when I was first elected, I started advocating for a study for a bypass for Elmira, and I've been waiting for that report for 10 years. I was promised the report first, I think, in the spring, last spring, and then in the fall, and it's still outstanding. So I recognize that we've had a number of staff turnovers and things get held up, but this is a long time for the community to wait. And you can't stand on our main street and have a conversation. We're now at council moving ahead much more deliberately with a downtown redevelopment plan. And part of that needs to get the trucks off the main street. So if I could ask for a status report on where that is. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Rose?
Yes, through the chair to Councillor Shantz. Thank you for asking that question. We do know it is a priority for you and the residents of Woolwich to create that wonderful community space in your downtown and remove the trucks from going through that area. You are right. We did say that we would have some information for you in the fall, but due to again the turnovers that you were speaking to, we've We've been not able to provide that when we said we would. However, now with our acting commissioner on board, we had a conversation this morning, and he's going to put some pressure on the staff to get working on that report so that we can have that information for you. And then we didn't have time today to really discuss the timeline for that. So since August seems to be a happy time, or the fall, we may have it at that time. But in the meantime, Councillor Shantz, we will keep you updated through conversation.
Okay, if I can just follow up on that. So it was originally, you told me originally it was going to take 2 years to do the report. So presumably in those 2 years leading up to last fall, there was work done by staff, and so work's been done. So what's the holdup at this point? Like we're waiting for another year. That's 3 years plus the previous 6, I guess, since I came on.
Yep, so through the chair to Councillor Shantz, since that is not my department, but I'm aware of things that are going on in that department. We do have new director. Matt just started, January. So getting him up to speed, looking at all of the priority projects that are happening around the region. This is one that is on his list to look into. So we do apologize for having a delay in getting that report back to you, because you were very clear when I started and when our acting CAO started as commissioner that this was a priority project for you, and we did promise that we would work with you and your staff on getting this forward. So we do apologize for the delay.
So did I hear August?
So I want to make sure this is added to the tracking list so that it is on there first, and then August to have something back for Councillor Shantz and the rest of council regarding this. And just to confirm, how long has this been brought to council, Councillor Shantz?
I don't recall the actual date when it was first dealt with here at this council. I've been advocating since I was, 2014 when I was first running. Yeah, I can show you some of the videos from my first campaign.
Okay, so again, this was identified as a priority, so we will ensure that staff get something to you regarding that bypass. Thank you for raising this, Councillor Shantz. Councillor Salonen.
Thank you. Apologies for my tardiness. Apparently Wilmot's never a quiet place. But regardless of that, I had already spoken with Mr. Spooner regarding the topic that already came up today, Oxford Road 5. I just wanted to ask that be added to our tracking list as well if it wasn't already. And I know that we have continued staff level conversations going on. So that's all I have.
Perfect, thank you. So that will be added to the tracking list as well. Councillor Foxton.
Thank you. A totally separate issue again. Councillor Roberts from City of Cambridge has requested that a bus be brought into the city, and she wanted it at a certain event so that she could show disabled people that they can use it and show them how she uses it and that it is accessible. At this time, I wanted to just state that the region was not able to fill that wish, but are definitely looking into it. And so keep me updated on that so I can respond back to her. I think it's a brilliant idea. She really feels that a lot of people would use the bus if they were more confident in it. So if she could have a bus that's not in service at the time, come to Cambridge, and she would draw these people out and show them how to get on and off and how safe they really are. It would cut down on MobilityPLUS use. It would be a bonus for everybody. So thank you for looking into that, and I hope that happens soon. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. And that was additional correspondence we received as well. Thank you. Councillor Huinink.
Just to follow up on what Councillor Foxton just said, let the record show that I use conventional buses regularly as well. So it's definitely possible and definitely provides more freedom to folks.
I unmuted. Thank you. Okay. Seeing no further councillors in the queue, I am going to move on to item 7. The next Planning and Works meeting is scheduled for May 7th, 2024. We will now adjourn the Planning and Works Committee. I need a mover. Councillor Salonen, a seconder. Councillor, oh my gosh, I'm losing my Nowak. Okay, I have a list here too. It's almost, what, 3:30? Okay. All right, you'll now be prompted at e-scribe.
Sorry, Chair, I don't know what we're voting on.
To adjourn the meeting. Okay, that is carried. The Planning and Works Committee is adjourned. We'll start the ANF in 5 minutes.